sit back, kick off your shoes, and relax because the spotlight starts right now. This week on the Spotlight, Christie at the beach? Newly released surveillance photos showed the New Jersey governor spending time with his family at the beach during the government shutdown over the 4th of July weekend. Why is he dismissing criticism over his beach trip during the shutdown?
I didn't get any sun today.
Yeah, right. Plus, you'll get an inside scoop on what happened at this year's first annual Latino Film Market Festival hosted by Arilyn, Martinez, Cora. And in this week's Guiding Spotlight, spoken word artist and poet Bello opens up about her spiritual journey on life, race, prejudice, and how she builds bridges between people by coming together as one.
This is one game that I have made sure you've already won.
Let's get it on and get this spotlight party started. Hi, everybody!
Hello, how you doing? Great. Pleasure being back here.
I am just thrilled to be here.
I know, right?
Well, hey. Hello. Hello, and welcome to the Spotlight, y'all. Welcome to the Spotlight. Woo! Please help me welcome back our two returning guest co-hosts joining us, Stephanie de la Cruz and Maximilian Mejia.
Yeah!
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Hi.
Hi.
Hey. Boy, time is just flying by quick here, I'll tell you this for sure.
I know,
Here.
right?
But we are happy to say that we are coming to you from Studio 2 at the Manhattan Neighborhood Network Studios located at West 59th Street, and it is a pleasure to be here. We will be taping 2 shows from here, and just to give you a sneak peek of what our season 2 set will look like, and you're looking at it right now. Just look at it. You see? There's a general idea of what our season 2 set will look like.
Are you
Very
not
beautiful.
entertained?
I love the colors you chose.
Yeah.
Was this you or was it somebody else?
Well,
back
it was
there?
not only me. The logo was my idea, That was my idea. So that's taken care of. And we also want to thank our facilitators, Manhattan Neighborhood Network, Brian, Anna, Malik. They are the ones who also helped with the lighting. I mean, this looks so cool.
And the plants are so
Plants,
beautiful.
we have this is you can't quite
It is
see
summertime.
you can't quite see the rug. Well, you can probably see it from back here, but everything just looks good here in the studio. Yes.
Yes, very exquisitely done.
And our usual thing just never ends that we have to do is our hot topics.
Yeah,
So
Yes, sir.
'cause there's
I
always
got my
something
hot
hot.
topics right here.
yep. So the White House had been dropping bombshells between July 21st and August 1st. First, the Associated Press has reported that Sean Spicer is going back into hibernation and back into the bushes. He resigned on Friday, July 21st after Anthony Scaramucci was named White House Communications Director. Now, before we talk about the mooch, how do you feel about Sean Spicer resigning? Are you gonna miss him or what?
I mean, I'm not going to miss him. I'm definitely not going to miss him because, I don't really think he makes a big difference in my life. To be completely honest with you. But, I'm happy for him that he resigned because, it seemed like he really had to make that decision like last minute or something.
Mm-hmm.
So,
You're gonna see him with the Bears any moment now.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I don't know who these people are. I don't. We don't. No, you hear them on the news, and that's the only reason why you hear about them. So apparently, The office director, Spicer, decided to resign. We're like, okay, we don't know who that is, so why do we care now?
Well,
So
I'm not gonna.
whether he resigned or not, we're not gonna know who he was. So no, I'm not gonna miss him. I don't know who he is. So if it was a last minute decision, I'm glad he probably left that toxic administration then. Because
For himself, maybe he should like take some time out to meditate, go to like Dubai or something.
Dang.
I hope he has money in his bank account,
Yeah.
and I hope he has some kind of good relationship with somebody else so that he can like, get another job somewhere if that's what he needs.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Maybe he should be behind the camera.
Or maybe he should be on the spotlight. and
Maybe
we
he could come
interview
to the
him.
spotlight. You're
Yeah.
invited.
Arrivederci, mucha. Arrivederci, mucha.
He's
It's
very
Anthony
passionate about
Scarpino.
what he's talking about.
In a
Yes,
very,
that's-
And very sexy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how I do it. But Anthony Scaramucci made history in the headlines as the shortest serving White House communications director ever. From July 21st to July 31st, 2017. He was set on July 21st, but oh, thought that was me
You
for just
okay?
a minute.
You having back pain or something?
Either back pain or I feel like I'm about to fart.
Your emotions are going like we're
Well,
out of your gut line.
but oh, what a 10 days. Oh, what a 10 days the mooch has had.
Can I just show this right now?
Not yet. But oh, what a 10 days the mooch has had. Take a look at the mooch Maurice he's had. Take a look.
Very charming guy.
I love the president. The president has really good karma. Sarah, if you're watching, I love the hair and makeup person that we had on Friday, so I'd like to continue to use the hair and makeup person. We're going to win so much, Chris, you're actually going to get tired of winning. If you want to eat an elephant, you got to eat it one bite at a time. Insecurity plus underconfidence always equals paranoia and backstabbing. Where I grew up, in the neighborhood I'm from, we're front stabbers. So we want things done subito, you know, the Italian expression.
That means
for quickly.
fast.
I'm here to serve at the discretion of the president. If he wants me to leave tomorrow, then I'm not going to be here to stay.
I mean, he's completely unsynchronized. I can tell you that much because people are not synchronizing with whatever he's trying to do.
Yeah.
And you know, many people wondered why he got fired. Why did he get fired or act so quickly?
He belongs
Could-
more in Saturday Night Live than
Well,
in like
Yeah.
Well, here's.
You know.
Well, let me just ask. What do you think? Or what could be the reason why he got fired? Could it be because he wasn't the guy the current administration needs, or do you think that he wasn't doing his job as White House communications director, or could it be because new chief of staff, John Kelly, maybe sending a message saying that there's a new sheriff in town? Is that what the thing is, or what?
maybe it's
What
just-
spotlight view do you see here?
I see it as some relationships just don't work.
some relationships just don't work. He's like a 5-year-old walking around like 30-year-olds.
You just said he was cute when you were watching.
I
the video.
am not
She-
saying.
she
I
said
said
he's
he's cute, and I said
charismatic.
he's 5. He's acting like he's 5. But I mean, I'm saying he doesn't seem like the kind of person. He has this great charm to him. He doesn't seem like this kind of person that should be around in a corrupt environment. And I'm sorry to say that about the White House and this media.
Exactly.
But it's corrupt, and he's not. He's like very like light and like innocent, and he just doesn't belong there.
If that's the case, then it sounds like he got fired because he wasn't cool enough. Like, you can't break him. You can't get him to agree with his side. Because look at what he said. Like, if the president wants me wants me to leave tomorrow, then I'm not going to stay, because clearly he sticks to his convictions. I mean, the montage of him talking, I can't quite get everything right away from that, but it looks like he's just like, go with the flow. He's like, look, if he wants me to leave, I'll leave. Whatever.
Yeah.
What am I going to do?
Well, how about the time when he wanted to contact the FBI, saying that he was going to clean house, when he tweeted, in light of the Living Day, he's going to contact the FBI, ending on the hashtag, I I can't remember what the hashtag is, but he did tag Reince Priebus at Reince45 on Twitter. Like, but I think this is a question of like he was basically saying from what we don't have the clip though, but he did talk about on CNN's New Day where he knows who knows that journalists know who the leakers are in this case, or well.
So he knows who leaked everything.
In some ways, we don't have the clip at the moment, but when we do, I could probably show it to you next time. Well, yeah, but I just don't you think Kate Hudson was in the wind for this when she posted something where there's this tremendous thing online. I'm gonna show this to you, where it says,
I'm showing it right here, camera 2.
Yeah.
How lose a guy in 10 days?
Yeah, the #1 box office results are in. The #1 comedy in America. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Go to camera 1, please. I gotta show this.
How to Lose a Guy in 10 That's a good one. That's funny. Good one, Kate Hudson. So.
Wow.
I don't have anything
Trump,
to
you
say
want to get
about
mad
that.
at me, go ahead, but I'm sorry, this is funny.
Trouble with me. A lot of folks living in New Jersey had their 4th of July weekend, holiday weekend, I should say, all messed up and screwed up by government shutdown, initiated by the fool himself, Christie. Yes, all the parks and the beaches were closed during that time, but that didn't stop him, Christie, from getting on the beach himself. Here he is defending about it. Just check this out, because this is ridiculous.
That's where my family is sleeping, so that's where I'll sleep tonight. When I have a choice between sleeping with my family or sleeping alone, I generally like to sleep with where my family is. The governor has a residence at Island Beach. Others don't. It's the way it goes. Run for governor, then you can have the residence. There's no one at Island Beach State Park. There are no lifeguards. There's no one to pick up the garbage. There's no one providing any services at Island Beach State Park. So my question is, next. Excuse me, next. Next, I'm done. We're talking about the closure of government, and you're talking about your TMZ stuff.
What a diva.
Excuse me. I'm here talking about the shutdown, and you're talking about your
no
TMZ.
patience for this at all whatsoever.
I'm sorry.
I like it.
You like it?
Him? Look,
Yeah.
I didn't mean to laugh.
I'm sorry. I don't hate Chrissy for that. Because that was just funny there. Like, excuse me.
That's very diva.
Yeah, look, I didn't mean to laugh at what Christie said, but
shit from nobody.
But I just want to say, are you out of your mind? First of all, your family's not sleeping in the sand, dude. Okay? All right? And let me just say this here, okay? You should have no right to go on the beach whatsoever if you shut down the government. All right? What is wrong with you? And then, you see, why don't you just say that I stand with the people with New Jersey and I promise not to go on the sand and beaches because the government is closed because of whatever the reason is. But then all of a sudden, what are you doing? What are you doing?
How was he raised? You know.
Who the hell raised you like this, huh?
Well,
I think he could be a little nicer, a little more humble, you know, taking it back, you know, to the clip. Because, you know, he's very, like, diva kind of, you know, and it's like you could turn it down a notch. Like, if you want to be a little more humble and you want people to, like, understand you and empathize with you.
Yeah, no, I mean, he could come off as diva in the clip. It's just, I can't help but feel like he was just trying to, like, not steer conversation away from something personal. First of all, why does that affect the fact that the government is shut down? If he has property on the beach, that's just because he has a house there. That has nothing to do with, like...
Yeah, but he should have no right to go on that beach when he closed down the government, okay?
Why does the government have to do with the beach, though?
He shut it down during that time.
So he shut down the beach during that time.
And the parks.
Okay, but that doesn't mean the houses. The houses, if he already lives there, then that's different. People who live there, that's the difference. Because people usually buy houses there for, like, special occasions. Like, for the summer, that's their summer house. But you just can't be there right now. But if that's already his house, look, he's a government official, so they're going to have certain privileges. I don't know what's right or wrong because I'm not in it like that, but I don't see it. I'm maybe I'm wrong in this, but I don't see the harm in it because if he had a house there and he's government official, they're gonna have certain privileges. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, but
but it like look, the government usually has their own offices anyway. So why does his house affect that? I get it. It's on the it's in that property, but that's not the
Yes.
beach itself. You pay like for example, Pleasant Point, you pay $10 to go on the beach. The boardwalk is free, but that's the beach. So if he's just living in his house, if that's his permanent property, then fine. If he's just with his family, I mean, look, maybe it's just because it looks wrong.
Yes.
It just looks wrong, but I don't see the big freaking deal.
Yes, but I understand that. But here's the bottom line is that you should have no right to go onto that beach whatsoever if you close down the government. Because he wasn't above the law when they were accusing you for other crap that he did from the past or previous. And this is probably why his approval ratings at a record low 15% at this point here, okay? Like,
Jeez, you sound like an angry wrestling fan.
I mean,
Are you freaking kidding me?
this is what he's doing is just stupid. Come on.
Look,
There's a lot of stupid people out there in the world running things.
trust me, there's a lot worse to deal with. Like,
Oh man.
yeah. So anyway, on to happier things, if there's anything.
Well, look. Well, I'll be happier that because his term is almost going to be up in around November, I would say, right?
Yes, New Jersey folk can be happy once again.
Yeah, New Jersey's nightmare is coming to an end because he's done. All right, you know. And
We need to get anyone who is going into power of any kind. They need to hire this really great psychologist with morals and standards that are for the people, and they need to psychologically evaluate these people before they go, into term, because these people make egocentric decisions all the time, and it's like because they are who they are, now we have to like tolerate, and I just don't respect it
Yeah, I think.
personally myself.
Yeah, I mean, thing is, you're gonna deal with a lot of different personalities. It's a matter of like they should have professional evaluations and more like
Professional
strictly
evaluation.
because it sounds like they let certain people go through the cracks no matter what. So
yeah, I don't know why he had the nerve to go on the beach when
Was
there,
he
were,
actually-
no,
well,
there were
what-
no lifeguards on the beach.
was
though.
he on the beach or was he just in a house?
He
beach
was
house?
he was on the beach, laying on the sand with it. He's saying he ain't getting any sun today. He was on that beach with his family. All right.
Okay, well, either he had special privileges, or I don't know. Maybe he's, you know what?
He
first of all, how did
he
anyone
was
get that?
on the sand. That's
How
what he
did
was.
anyone get that information? That's the weird thing. But
Well, let me just tell you this here, because July 2nd, 2017, as the government shuts down, Christie and his family vacation at one of the state parks that is closed during the holiday weekend. Island Beach State Park has a private governor's residence where Christie, his wife, and other family members soak up on an empty beach. During the afternoon, the governor travels via the state helicopter is when they caught Christie over him suntanning on the beach. And he that's how they found out. They caught the photo. The helicopter caught the photo of Christie on the beach. All right.
they got an aerial shot of him.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
man, that's the worst way to get caught, bro. You gotta hide better,
yeah.
man. Like, no, let me stop.
Yeah.
But,
He needs to do better here, but
well, he has private residency, so then there's the government. I don't know. It's kind of. I don't know all the ins and outs of government.
But the spokeswoman for the governor said that technically Christie wasn't sunning because he was wearing a baseball hat.
Wow, really?
Yep.
Okay, that was.
This is all absurd. So
Yeah.
absurd.
It's so absurd.
He's done once November comes, all right? And on that note, before we go to break, we want to say goodbye to two or three, actually, I should say, three legendary show business giants. Star of the classic TV show Mission Impossible, Martin Landau, who passed away at the age of 89. Father of the ever-classic zombie movie, Night of the Living Dead, creator George A. Romero, who died at age 77. And last but not least, Home Alone star John Hurt, who died at the age of 72. They will never be forgotten. May all the legends themselves rest in peace. We'll be right back.
This year marked the first annual Latino Film Market Festival, and the Manhattan Neighborhood Network, among others, sponsored this event. I must say that this event was totally amazing, and you can ask David because he was there for the event. Right, David?
Right.
Well, we're going to bring the highlights of this year's event to you and the two people who made it happen.
Well, there's only one person here, but we'd like to please welcome the one that started this whole Latino film market that drives me nuts. Please welcome Arilyn Martinez, ladies and gentlemen. Woo!
Thank you so much for the invitation, David, and thank you, everyone.
Absolutely.
You're very welcome.
Glad to have you here.
Yeah, we're glad to have you here. I just want to begin in here because you have like an amazing background, like because you started out as an entrepreneur and director and producer, like born in Puerto Rico. Tell us more about that experience.
Well, I always like filmmaking, and I was able to start everything up when I decided to leave Puerto Rico and move here to New York City, where I went to college here. I did a second degree here in film production in Brooklyn College, and that's where everything started. Yeah.
My gosh. And so, in all of that led you to create the Latino Film Market Festival.
Yes.
So tell us more about how that all began and what got you inspired into creating that festival.
Well, what it actually got me inspired about doing the Latino film market was that I was working in a lot of big budget production and also small productions, but I wasn't able to see a lot of people in top higher positions. I didn't see any Latinos. And always it was like really hard for me to go upper. So I decided to create my own opportunities and create the Latino film market because there is no market for the Latinos here in the US. And that's how everything come up. And then I had with me an amazing colleague. Her name is Argelis Wesley. She helped me a lot to put together the festival. Also, you know, a lot of other contributors, Laura Rosado, Zenaida Mendez, and different people that helped me with all the process. Yeah.
Wow. Now, that probably explains why Eminem got involved in sponsoring this year's 2017 film festival.
Yes.
I'm shocked
Oh,
and hurt.
Zenaida was amazing. She helped me with the space. Also, she also decided to provide for the winners an award. So everyone is happier that they can update what they know in the Firehouse Eminem.
Would you like to give a shout out to Zenaida on camera 3?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Zenaida, thank you so much. And we're definitely going to continue working together.
Help us out with our show, please, if you come. Come on down.
Oh, gosh.
David.
You see, you're
Such a
already driving me
character he
nuts
is.
already.
Yeah.
Oh, so I wanted to ask you, you are an activist, so I've heard. And I just wanted to ask you, like, how is your vision in women empowerment and education in society?
Well, definitely the great thing about, sorry that I'm going to combine this a little bit. The great thing about the Latino film market is that the team were primarily women, and that's amazing. And also, I also had the opportunity to put together different batches, and I created the woman empowerment because we like it or not, we're still debating with men in the industry, like in general, imagine for Latinas. So that's why I decided to actually talk about it, and also I I give the opportunity to women to expose screen their work.
What age group do you think that this targets mainly?
The Latino film market, do you mean?
Yeah,
Or-
for the women empowerment program that you initiated. What you just told me about.
I'm sorry.
Now, weren't you just talking about that backstage? That was a good question. I think
Yeah,
she
which
she basically was trying
I
to say.
maybe didn't word myself correctly.
No,
Yeah.
no worries.
What I was talking about, I'm sorry.
Well, we all wound up in the twilight zone, so no worries here. Look, basically, she was just trying to tell us about the distribution for not only but also for the youth. What age group you?
What age group you are targeting to empower?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like 13-year-olds, teenagers, specifically what age group?
Well, I think the great thing about the Latino film market is that if you made a movie and you would like to learn about distribution, that's the place to go. First of all, at this year, we decided to educate towards distribution, but later on, we would like to add different distribution companies that can come and lead store a deal right there. Yeah, we got three already, three distributor interested in the different films that were submitted. So I don't think it's really an age. It depends on what age can you actually finish a short film or a feature film. Maybe teenagers up. Yeah, primarily.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's
Interesting.
important to empower teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
You need a lot of empowerment for teenagers nowadays.
Big time is.
Yeah, it's true. It's true what you're saying because a lot of there have been a lack of certain opportunities, like in the film industry, particularly for anyone who's Spanish.
Yeah.
Like you don't see a lot of that. Like you're just starting to see African Americans get a taste of that, even
Yeah.
in the world in the role of directing. But like what kind of got you into film in the first place? Like what was it that made you want to study film?
Well, when I was back then, when I was in middle school, well, I think I always liked movies because my parents used to take me whenever a Disney movie come out.
Oh yeah.
Let's start from that.
This may seem like an odd question to ask. How were your teachers in middle school? I'm about to quiz Arilyn right now here.
They were good. Yeah.
Were you on your best behavior?
Yes, I was always
my
a good
gosh.
student. Yeah, I wasn't the bad girl at all.
Did you always do
Thank
your homework on time?
Yes, I was those, how you call them?
Bookworms.
Yeah.
Were your parents very involved in like you getting your homework done, getting
No,
to school on time?
I was always doing it by myself.
I'm keeping
Yeah.
my eye on you
I love
already.
to study, I love math, and I love to read. Back then, not anymore much. But
Right.
Thank
But
you for your
yeah.
honesty. We appreciate that.
So-
Jesus, she's being honest.
but I used to love going to school, and I didn't want to miss one class. Yes.
Yeah.
amazing.
So Disney movies were kind of like your inspiration.
I love the stories. Yeah, I was always thinking about the stories. Then when I get to middle school, I wanted to be more an actress for film.
Yeah.
And then everything changed when I get to the university. I
Oh,
was like,
wow.
no, this is not for me. I prefer to be behind camera and, write and direct and do camera work. Yeah.
And you did like a film that you created, right?
Yes, I did a film in Puerto Rico. I did everything here, and then I flew some of my friends to shoot in Puerto Rico.
The name of
Yeah.
the film was called The Taking of to the taking of
The texture of the light.
the texture of the light. We actually have a trailer of that. Let's take a look at it.
Sure.
Take a look.
Sí, buenas, este es el Hospital Lafayette de Arroyo. Este mensaje es para Herrera. La cita será hoy a las 9:30 de la mañana.
Tienes que contactar al padre del niño.
No, es que no puedo, eso no es una opción para mí.
Lucy, es tu decisión.
No, no es chiste, nosotros tuvimos un nene y él está... Él necesita un donante.
¡Gallina ciega! ¡Es bien chiquito!
What
tell
got
you?
you into that film here?
It was a research that it was in between, like, not my own story, but somebody's story, and then I combine it with some fiction. Yeah. That. It was a lot of work.
I actually
but-
got goosebumps. I got goosebumps with the trailer.
Okay.
So I want to see the movie.
Yeah.
It's gonna be playing soon at the Viva Latino Film Festival. So, if it's possible, I would like to all to come.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Thank you. I'll
And-
definitely.
Well,
want to
thank
go.
you. I will check my schedule to see if that'll be available. But I'll let you
Yeah.
know.
It will
Same
be
here.
available.
Hey,
Yeah.
as usual.
Also, I want to know how important do you encourage culture in your work?
I think I do it all the time. And what I actually enjoy the most watching all the films that people submitted to the film market, to the Latino film market, was that sometimes you go to watch a movie and everything is more American, or sometimes you go to watch a movie on TV and it's only coming from one country. And what I like the most is that bringing up Latino content. It's amazing because we can actually learn about every culture, not only, let's say, not only or Mexican or Puerto Rican, but we'll bring in culture from everywhere. And that's what I enjoy the most. Because then accepting each other, then we can be able to accept everyone else.
It's also
And I enjoy it.
I just think it's amazing when you combine things, like the way that you were inspired to write this film. And you took one thing and another thing and you combined it. And that's one of the beauties of getting a bunch of different things and putting that together. So I think culture, the color of culture is beautiful, especially here in America.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially where it's a mixture of like,
Yes.
you know, even with everything going on, like it's still a good mixing pot. It's just the hard thing is always accepting it, because sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But then, you know, I think that's what makes us a family, because there's back and forth.
And also a big detail about Latinos, I think, even though the film market is about Latinos, I feel like the Latinos, we have the opportunity to mix with every culture and make them feel like family. So we have people coming from different backgrounds to enjoy the films, and we feel happy, and they were, you know, very welcome. They enjoyed the food, they enjoy everything. They were like, this is so good.
You're making me hungry already, Arilyn.
Yeah.
So,
Sazon.
Yes.
I could smell the pizza
So-
from
Can
backstage.
never get enough of sazon. And the pizza's all up in our noses. Well, I know it's all up in my nose. I don't know about your nose, but it's
Well,
up
it
in
is
mine.
in my nose, though. but I know Stephanie mentioned at the top of the show that I was at the Latino Film Market Festival, and we've basically had like a good time. But there was a workshop where Rolando, that was like he would host it, and along with aside with I forgot what his other name was. Stefan, yes. So I got like a lot of information from things that you need to remember in order to become a successful filmmaker or actor. Is like you have to have distribution to the public. You have to establish a relationship through distributions, provide legal documents, networking, know your business. How would you, the list goes on and on and on forever, but what would you have to say, or what advice would you give to the people in order to distribute for the people who want to be a filmmaker or an actor or so forth?
Yeah, I could do it very simple. Let's talk primarily about the filmmaker. I think the worst thing that we do is that we only do the budget for pre-production and production. And it's very important that we have to do the budget for pre-production, for production, for post-production, for promotion, for marketing, and also for distribution. Why? Because it's important.
That's a very good question. Why?
It's very important that when the movie is done, you need legal documentation when you go to a distributor to say, this is what we're going to be ended up, an agreement. You also need deliverables for the movie. It might be you might have to have the caption outside, like together in the same movie. They have a long list of things that you should have: a poster, you should have a trailer. If it's in Spanish, then you have to have the trailer in English. So it's everything goes on, and you should be able to be prepared. So I will say that primarily where we fail is about the business after the post-production.
To see Arilyn's movie, tune into the movie channel or on Showtime networks, and well, you'll see. But we got to get this going. It was a pleasure, Arilyn.
I know, it's just so much to talk. Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks for coming, hon.
Thanks.
Thanks
for coming by.
coming.
Here is. Wait, let's hug.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Our special thanks to Arilyn Martinez for sharing with us highlights from this year's Latino Film Market event. I'm pretty sure this inspired you so much, and for more information about this, head to latinofilmmarket.com. We'll be glad to post this link on our Spotlight social media pages. We'll be right back. In this week's Guiding Spotlight, we're shedding light on a spoken word artist who has been writing poems since she was a teenager, Alexa Bello. She's been spreading and sharing the gospel within the heart and value to individuals that are facing the reality of events of what's happening in the world today. She's still doing that, hosting spoken word events in Harlem and in Long Island, even in churches too. Here now, sharing the word and message out in her poems that she's about to present in her spoken word performance. Please welcome Alexa Bello.
Life is a game I've been playing on my own. steadily moving the pieces forward, spinning the wheel, taking a chance, running the risk. But I can't play it alone. You know, Uno's always been my flow from way before. But you changed the game. I put down my cards trying to match you, player. But the colors keep changing and you make me draw 4, skip, then reverse, leaving me utterly surprised, uncertain, but wanting more. You've been pushing and pulling my weaknesses, leaving blank spaces, revealing my secrets. This tower I've built so cautiously is about to fall, like Jenga blocks, leaving me in jeopardy of seeing myself as I truly am. And wondering, why do I play this game at all? Is it for the payday, as they say? I doubt it. Futile pursuits of wealth are meaningless since we can't satisfy our souls with bankrolls. You can't store up treasures here, or so I'm told. True riches are far too precious for this earth to hold. Instead, we become masterminds of our fate and think that's great. Building monopolies like modern aristocracy, dominating the board until all of it is yours. The trouble with this is that when you get to the top, you gotta keep struggling to stay in that spot. I've heard that the real way up has always been down, that when we're humbled by a mightier hand, we'll know that real honor comes from the maker of the game and not the man. Or must we go on a hero's quest to slay our enemies so we'll be admonished by all those who see? Outpourings of flattery, love, and esteem. A candy land of compliments that taste oh so sweet, temporarily, but leave us unfulfilled and empty. I wasn't sure what to believe. I thought that following the rules of the game would give peace to my heart, but they're written and rewritten so often, I had no idea where to start. So I asked myself, where should I begin? Maybe the original manufacturer could offer some help. Could it be Hasbro, Milton and Bradley, Parker Brothers? Surely the owner wouldn't be too hard to discover. And after a simple game of Guess Who eliminated all imitators, as I carefully followed the clues, I was led to life's one true creator. The one whose name is considered taboo, yet brings wholeness and healing to anyone who calls upon him in faith and believes in the Christ. So their wrongs are forgiven, they're restored and made new. We can scrabble the names. It can boggle the mind that the Savior, the way, the truth, and the life, the Redeemer, Jehovah, our Shepherd, the Lamb, righteous servant, the Word, the Vine, the I Am, could have humbled himself and chosen to die for a wretch just like me, full of sin, full of pride, who's been playing the game, who's been rolling the dice, who's been moving the pieces unaware of the price that was paid for the game that I've thus far called life. I want a do-over, I finally cry. So he says that for me, he's cleared the whole board. I begin once again, this time without keeping a score. But you should know one last thing, he says, that this game has been fixed. The results are determined and can't be undone, because this is one game that I have made sure you've already won.
Whoa! Whoa! Can I just give you a hug? Look, I'm not like Jerry Seinfeld, who does not know how to hug Kesha, okay?
Right.
Yes.
That was very good.
Don't leave her out.
Right,
Yeah. There you go.
Everybody deserves a hug after like such an amazing performance.
Thank you so much. That's very sweet.
So Alexa Bello, you have been writing poems since you were a teenager.
Yes, I started writing when I was a teenager. A lot of what I wrote was just kind of what was coming out of my heart at the time. You know, if I was sad or, lonely or whatever I was going through, I kind of wrote back then. And I stopped, and then for many years I didn't write. And then just recently I started writing again about 3 years ago.
What encouraged you to want to go out there and spread the gospel?
It's actually the people in my church. They once I started writing again, I just felt this need to just begin to write from the experience that I had more recently with God. And as I started to write, people just started saying, maybe you should go out there and share it. And so it was really nerve-wracking at first, but the more I did it, the easier it became. So.
Yeah, that's how a lot of things go when you do it the first time. It's never going to be easy, and it doesn't work out all the time, but the more you do it, especially with God, and faith, a lot of things tend to work out.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And things just naturally fall into place.
That's why I'm here right now.
There you go.
Amen.
What exactly, because you said you went a few years without doing this, so what got you to want to come back to doing poetry again?
You know, I didn't realize at the time when I was a teenager that it was a gift until it was something that was encouraged by the leaders in my church, that we begin to really look for what is it that we've been called to do, and then to do that instead of trying to fit into the box of what other people are doing, and try to do what everybody, you know, what maybe you think that you're supposed to be doing. But when it kind of started again, when I started writing again, it was clear to me that that was the gift that I had been given, and that's what I needed to share.
Ah, very well. Glad you discovered it.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, I was just reading, and I heard we were talking backstage here basically, and you've hosted a lot of spoken word events from like between Harlem and Long Island. What's it like doing that here?
Oh, you know, the opportunities have opened up, and it's funny because I was very anxious, very nervous, like I told you at first. But the places that I've gone, you know, I've gone to the New York Poets Cafe, a couple other places, the churches that have invited me to go, and when I've gone, I've received a really warm welcome, and so I think that the more I stepped out in faith, the easier it became to do, and so it's been exciting to see how people receive it.
Yeah. Which poet do you most likely represent? Like Maya Angelou, for example, or?
Oh, she's fantastic. There's so many, you know, there's so many others. I like hearing spoken word poets instead of necessarily reading the poetry. I do enjoy reading poetry, but I like hearing it out loud, and so I like going to different venues and hearing new people, you know, come out and share their gift. Nikki Giovanni is very good, and you know, there are amazing poets everywhere.
Have you?
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Did you want to go?
I was going to say the only person that's not good is number 45. Okay, but go ahead.
I'm just curious. Have you thought about like writing a book or anything?
I've considered writing a book, and I actually started penning some kind of devotionals that go along with the poetry that I do, but right now, I kind of want to try a little bit more of just, I know with spoken word, reading it is different than hearing it out loud. And so maybe possibly in the future, some album, I don't know, wherever God takes it.
Yeah, you can experiment with so many different things. Like there's some poets that they play with music and rhythms.
I've tried that, and I'd like to try doing that more often too with wonderful artists, you know, that are out there. So that would be great.
Like, who would be your favorite artist you call?
Oh my goodness. I like India.Arie stuff. I like you know, I like a lot of, you know, gospel, and you know.
Maybe that probably looks why you look so much young in person.
Oh, yeah. It's good genes.
I thought she was my age for just a moment, but I'm not gonna say
good
it.
genes. Yeah, don't.
What's your nationality?
My family's from the Dominican Republic, but I was born here in the United States.
Look at that.
Oh,
Switch.
Hey.
No, go ahead. Switch.
We need to like.
Just give everyone a high five. Don't leave me out.
Yeah.
Y'all Dominicans.
Oh, Dominican by association.
Yeah. Well,
There.
Max, you broke the window.
I did not break anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Everything just works out, you know, in the end.
Well, so I don't know what to ask. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Then let's wrap this up here.
Because you kind of just threw me into the fire. Actually,
I'm sorry.
I have a curious question. It's not poet related, but since you're Christian, correct? When were you saved? And usually that people mean like, when did you become Christian?
Yeah, you know, it's funny for me because it happened years after, like when I was a little older. I would say I'll be giving my age if I say it. I'd say it's in my late 20s, early 30s maybe. And so,
oh wow.
I didn't even know you touched that
That mark.
place.
So-
Yeah.
Wait.
Bello idea.
It's the youth network. But I'm young at heart.
Everybody's welcome
yes.
here.
So it was later, a little later in life, and so when it happened in a Bible study class. Somebody invited us to their house, and my sister and I sat down, and I just heard what they had to say, and it made sense to me. And then I just began to get together with more believers, and it became just a process, a growth, because that's all it is. It's a daily walk, you know.
Yeah, I know the struggle.
Yeah, struggle is real.
You don't have to see the whole staircase. You only have to see the first step. Take the first step.
Yes.
I don't know if I said that correctly.
I like that.
She's a poet. That's very good.
However you want to call it, but you have any idea of what the title of your book would be? Any chance?
Oh my goodness, I don't know. Maybe you guys can come up with something for me, but I have no idea.
That is a good one.
Well, we'll talk about it after.
It takes a lot of brainstorming to come up with
that takes a lot of
the title of the book.
We gotta have you back, Alexa. This has just been a tremendous experience.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Powerful message, but we're out of time.
And beautiful energy too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Yes. It's good to have fellow Dominicans show up again.
Yeah. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Never get enough of those.
Yes.
We're taking over.
Our special thanks to Alexa Bello for her spoken word performance and for getting the message out to every one of us. We'll be right back to wrap it up in a moment.
This has been Guiding Spotlight. We'll be right back.
Hey y'all, I'm sorry.
You're taking over for her now?
No, I'm sorry. We were just we were just talking during the break here, and I thought of the idea of the title for Alexa's book, so it'd be like
oh Lord,
the Alexa Bello story of that's the title.
Dot.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Actually,
yes.
that's a good humor.
Yes. The ellipse is what they call the 3 dots here, but anyway, we want to give our special thanks to Alexa Bello for her great performance, spoken word performance, and getting the message out. Also, our special thanks for having the Latino film market on our show. I'm gonna have a serious talk with Arilyn after the show why she makes me so crazy all the time. But anyway, I think she had another second poem that she'd like to share with us. Take it away. We'll stand here and watch you.
Thank you. Okay. This kind of relates to what just happened recently in Charlottesville, Virginia, and it's talking about walls being broken down. There are invisible walls that separate by gender, culture, social class, and race. They've been created in our minds to bind us to falsities that we are more different than alike, when in fact we are from one tribe, that is humankind. Once, nothing was impossible for a people with common speech who built a tower to reach God in the heavenlies and almost did so through the sheer power of unity. It is fear alone, brothers and sisters, that keep us from recognizing our similarities. It is prejudice that hinders our understanding that we are one beautiful creation meant to be in relationship with one another and with God. If we continue divided and in darkness, this ship will crash and sink, leaving future generations nothing to carry them onto solid ground. We must be bound to seek truth and see the walls clearly before us so that we can gather the tools we will need to break them down. They are walls of judgment that cause us to look past plank-filled eyes at our brother's speck and point accusing fingers outward rather than introspect. They are walls of bigotry that breed injustice and keep us from exposing hidden thoughts and hurts that can bring healing to our generation once brought into the light. They are walls of insecurity that prevent us from disturbing the status quo rather than reaching out to build bridges and grow. These barriers of bias, intolerance, and hate are not intrinsically in our DNA. They're not sewn into chromosomal strands making us so distinct. No, these walls were created and built brick by brick and propagated by an enemy who desires to see our demise. So let us be wise to recognize his lies. Our genetic code makes a resounding cry for harmony, community. Indeed, our souls desire to connect as family. There is one faith, one hope, one love, one God, and we are called, Father God, to one. I'm sorry, I lost it. Can we?
No, continue.
Okay. One faith, one hope, one love, and we are called. So, I completely forgot. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all right.
Okay.
You did good. You did. We got the message out.
The oneness of that was beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's a beautiful message.
Thank you.
And it really touches the heart of, those people who have the gospel in their heart.
Totally.
It really touches people like that. And you have a beautiful talent. And God definitely gives thunder to your voice because it's very powerful, the message that you have to give to others.
Yes. And this is like you mentioned about the Charlottesville. That is our hot topic on our next show. We definitely got to discuss about that, because it's like a lot of tensions are going on because it's becoming heated by the second, though. But that was really brilliant, Alexa.
Thank you.
Here, Max, final words?
No, just I would say keep doing this. I would see if you can go outside of New York City doing all spoken word stuff.
Awesome. That'd be awesome.
That'd be my suggestion.
Thank you.
That way, hopefully Charlottesville doesn't become too harsh either. So.
We send our condolences to Charlottesville for what the issues that have been happening, but we're going to definitely talk about it on our next show. So our special thanks once again to Alexa Bello for her great spoken word performance towards the end. Our also special thanks to our guest co-host, Stephanie De La Cruz. Max, I'm glad I have you as my good friend. Me too. Yeah, no, me too. Oh my God.
I'm gonna miss you guys.
Come here. No, wait. Group hug. Have a great week, everybody. Good luck, be well, be safe. Take a little time to have fun and enjoy the spotlight. Woo! Oh, my face.
Yeah. Sure.
What?
Problem.
Don't worry about that.